We will review week 13 and preview week 14. As always, we'll introduce Keith, who is our Tampa Bay elite super fan, give him a chance to talk about what's going on with his situation in Tampa Bay. We'll probably also talk a little officiating this week. So,
Yeah,
if that
zebras
makes sense.
especially. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
maybe so. So,
Yeah.
with that said, if I roll the right video, I think I've got 3 o'clock.
Roll it.
So let's
Don't
go.
hold it. Don't hold it. Roll.
It's game day, baby! Let's go!
Here we are. Welcome NFL Nation Live. This is our week 14 show. We're going to close the books on week 13, and it was a wild one depending on who you're a fan of. And including in this week, we have another special guest from Tampa Bay, and we will get you all caught up on Keith Big Nasty. Is it Kunzig? Is your last
You
name?
got it.
All right.
That's it.
And we'll find out everything that's going on with Keith and what's happening in Tampa Bay. But we got to close the books on week 13 to get ready for week 14. So before we get to all the craziness, Wayne, welcome to the show. What are your quick first thoughts, my friend?
Gentlemen, my quick first thoughts. This is week 13 of the NFL season, and already there are teams that are preparing for playoffs and other teams that are preparing for coach searches.
Yeah, or the draft, in which case, if you're following on this show, we might have already put your team on the clock, but then again, that's what we do here. So, with that said, I'm ready to go. I'm pretty sure Cap's ready to go. I'm just about betting Keith's ready to go. I think the question here is 57. Are you sauced up and ready to go?
Taped up, clocked in, let's hit it.
Yeah. All right, welcome everyone to NFL Nation Live. Ref Guru, along with the Hall of Famer Wayne Violator Mabry, the legendary pirate Captain Jack, and perhaps
Yeah!
a legendary pirate Keith from Tampa Bay. Keith, welcome to the show, my friend.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I'm sure we'll hear a lot about what's going on with regard. Keith is an elite super fan from Tampa Bay. Of course, the Raiders are in Tampa Bay this week, allegedly to play the Buccaneers. And I remember the first game against the Raiders in 1976. So that takes you back a little bit with regard to that. I think it was 49-17 that game was, but in any case, let's get everybody going. We'll open up the chat here in just a second. Give me a chance. I got a lot going on this week.
But you got to remember though that Dwayne, from what's happening, picked the Bucks over the Raiders that game because he liked the color of their helmets.
So wait. What are you talking about in 76?
Yeah. Dwayne, from what's happening, because he had this system of who he would, and he was making money on his system. And Ron kept asking him, I want to get in on that. And Dwayne, for the Bucks versus the Raiders game, he picked the Bucks because he liked the color of their helmets better. Sorry.
Wow. He liked orange, huh? Orange and red. All right. Well, that's all right. I will say, though, that I lost a bet placed in 1976 as to whether or not the Bucks or the Seahawks would win a Super Bowl first. So I lost that in addition to everything else. But at least I didn't go 14. So there you go. All right. So let's close the books on week 13. We probably might have some officiating to talk about. We'll get to that. But, last week was production week, and the Chicago Bears went into Detroit. Man, they gave the Lions all they wanted to. But, the Bears lost the game. They lost their head coach, couldn't call a timeout, couldn't kick a field goal. Lions got away with one.
Yeah, you call that caught up in the moment, and
you think?
There's
a lot of moments to get caught up in, man.
It's kind of unfortunate for their head coach. Eberflus, if I'm saying his
Yeah,
name correct.
that's fine. Or gone.
Yeah, or gone with gone with the wind, gone with the Windy City. But anyway, that one was another one that they let slip out of their grasp, and just don't know what that team's kind of island or circling the bowl, so to speak, right now.
Well, the Twitter chatter this week was, how do you feel about John Gruden going to the Bears? And I'm thinking, you know what, they got to win, but it's probably going to be Kingsbury or whatever his name is that worked with Khalib at USC. But welcome to the show, Kev. Good to see you out there. I think Ed's going to join us too. The Giants went into Dallas and spent too much time looking at the cheerleaders, man. They gave up a lot of points to Dallas in this one. And you know what? At this point, it really doesn't matter because it's probably between the Raiders and Giants who gets the first round draft pick. But, Dallas got the win. Now they're 5-7, and all they can do pretty much was just base their turkey for the rest of the day because this would mean nothing.
Yeah, it didn't mean a thing. Like I say, extra basing, throw an extra couple of legs on that turducken, and they eat away, baby.
Yeah, speaking of 6 legs and a frozen turducken, Miami went into Green Bay, got beat by the Packers. You guys, we talked about this last week. That was no surprise. No way you're going to send a team in Miami into anything minus 40 degrees, especially with that head coach, and expect to beat a Packers team right now hitting on all cylinders. And we're going to find out just how good this Packer team is on Thursday. Because they're going to go into Michigan and take on the Wildcats. And Keith, I will explain all that when we get into week 14. Cap and I have these personas in here, and he doesn't like the way I say Detroit. So I have to say Michigan Wildcats when we get into the preview.
But
I can say whatever I want in the review, but the preview, man, I better mind my – Go ahead.
You. By the way, it's pints and quarters. It comes from the Royal Navy, and in case you want to know that, us Navy guys know that. Yeah. The second thing is that I can speak to. Oh shoot, I got it wrong this time. This guy is Floridians don't do well in any weather that's under 60 degrees. That's why we're cold right now because it's presently under 60 degrees.
Yeah,
it's 59 degrees out there.
Oh yeah, it's freezing right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it right? Wow.
Well, I saw this message on Twitter. This guy was in the South with a whole bunch of snow, and he says, "Hey, I need you all up north to come down and get your snow and take it home with you." Oh yeah. I guess we might as well get to it. The Raiders were in Kansas City on Black Friday to play the Chiefs. And, this was interesting game until the referees gave it away. We got a little video maybe. Before we get to that, you guys give me your thoughts on the black and whatever we were, blue, silver, green, I don't know.
No, the refs are
good, man. Go ahead, brother.
Red and white. Okay, I'm just saying.
Oh, red and white. I knew you'd pick up on. I served that one right over to you, man. I was just like John McEnroe sending you that over the net.
Yeah. Go ahead, Wayne.
No, I was just gonna say, way to leave Black Friday with a black eye, and not the one with the patch.
Yeah. Well, we got patches on both eyes now, man.
We do.
We're nothing.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to close. So everybody knows what happened at the end of the game. We had the refs blowing it again. We're going to explain what happened. I'm going to close the chat, y'all, now just for a little bit. We'll bring the chat back so you can keep the comments coming. They're just not going to be on air because we want to talk about this a little bit. So I'm going to see if I can load this thing. First time I've done this on this show. Let me know if you guys can see this.
Loud, yeah.
All right, you can see this. So
with,
can you hear
two
my
black eyes. Yeah,
we can hear the audio. It's okay too. We can hear the audio too. So now look, let's be clear. Cap and I talked about this a lot on his show. Was it Sunday night or whatever Sunday night it was? Yeah, I've slept and had a Mountain Dew since then, so I've got rest and amnesia. And remember, folks, on this show we've talked about this. I've drilled this into your head. We don't officiate from a still shot. Now, what are we looking at now? Well, we're looking at a still shot, but I'm going to make an exception this time because for this part of the video, what we're trying to establish here really is just a timeline and not so much the actual pieces of this. But what you're looking at here basically in this first picture, and I apologize, it's blurry, but that's not something that I did. That's a video I had to pull down. Let's take a look at a couple things here. You're looking at the Raiders trying to line up, and I want you to pay as we go through the video. You see the ball is basically at the 32-yard line.
Yeah.
Right. If you go down the line of scrimmage to the top of the video, right, straddling the 32-yard line, you can barely see him, but you can see an official there. He's got his left arm up towards his mouth because he's putting his whistle in his mouth. Okay. Down on the other side, although you can't see him yet, although you can see the down marker and the guy with the blue jacket with the yellow stripes on it, just to his left is the down judge, who is the line judge's teammate there on the other side watching this play. Now, in this particular piece here, you've got the Raiders basically, remember what happened was JPJ essentially snapped the ball early. Right. And because he's snapping it, and it's actually been snapped here at this point, you can't see the ball yet. But let's roll the video here for just a second. Each of these slides is a few seconds. Okay. So when we stop here, you can see now that the arrow is pointing to the ball. The ball's been snapped. I think it hit AOC 12 in the shoulder or something, and now the ball's on the ground. And if you look at the Chiefs defense, if you look at the middle linebacker spot, who's just on the other side of the 30, like at the 29, he's actually going to be the guy I think that recovers this ball. So we got a ball on the ground. All right. Now notice that the line judge at the top of your picture hasn't done anything yet. Right?
Right.
Nobody's done anything yet. Okay. So let's move to the next slide. All right. Now, what's important to know here is that the ball is still on the ground. It's rolling around. It's pretty much right in front of, it's just to the right of JPJ at this point. It's between him and our right guard and the left defensive tackle. You can see the middle linebacker sees the ball and he's headed up to that way. What I want you to pay attention to, though, is in the lower part of the screen. You see that down judge down there? There's a red circle. I apologize. There were some graphics I tried to cover up there. Don't worry about the graphic piece. But what I'm trying to show there is that his right arm is in a red circle. I put that red circle on there because I'm showing you that right now at this moment. Now, remember, the ball's live. Okay. This is not a false start. Right. Because if it had been a false start, that's before the snap. Well, we've had a snap, so we have a live ball. This official's now reaching for his flag. That's what I want to show you. That's why his arm is down. Because in the next slide, you're going to see the flag. That's the down judge that threw the flag. The official at the top of the screen is looking, but he really hasn't done anything yet. But what's important here is that we still have a loose ball on a live play. So let's go forward to the next screen. Each still shot's about 4 seconds or so. All right. Now in this one, in this one, did I stop it? I think I did. In this one, hey, wait, what's going on? Hang on. I got to figure out what's going on here. All right, that's that one. Hang on. I haven't done these videos before, so okay, he's reaching for his flag. Thanks for your patience on this, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, what you see here is you see the flag. It's pretty evident that the flag's in the air. What I want you to see now is we still have a loose ball that's not been recovered yet. They're all fooling around trying to find it. But look at the top of your screen. The line judge is on the field. He's blowing his whistle. The play is still live. Okay. So what do we have here now, essentially, is what?
A fuck up. Sorry.
Well, yeah, but more often called an inadvertent whistle. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay. So now you have the official coming onto the field, and now what's he doing? Now you have basically almost, not quite yet, or very close to, right in the center of your screen there, a Kansas City recovery of a loose ball. But what's the official doing up there? He's all the way out to the numbers calling timeout.
Right.
You don't call timeout with your whistle if you're not blowing your whistle. Go ahead, Cap.
No,
you're signaling timeout. Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know if you're trying to get my attention out because it's okay. So you're not calling timeout if you're not also blowing your whistle. Okay, so we have Mason. So he was headed onto the field before we had a recovery. So basically, we have an inadvertent whistle, and what we're leading to is the verdict is that this play should have been canceled. But
Right.
what happens is, I think there might be one more slide. He's coming onto the field. He's calling timeout. He's blowing his whistle.
He's also calling illegal procedure.
Yeah, exactly. Right here in this slide, this is the last slide. Now the Chiefs have made a recovery, but he's signaling false start, if you will.
Right.
Well, that's a first-year line judge that got confused about what happened. So first of all, you have an official coming onto the field, calling timeout, blowing his whistle. He didn't even throw the flag. Normally, proper mechanics would be that if the official that throws the flag is the one that's going to blow a whistle, call timeout, or do whatever, because that's their flag. He has no business essentially infringing on what the other official's flag might have been for. I never saw a flag from this guy with the arrow pointing to him. Perhaps they both had a flag. I never saw one. But I have no idea why this cat's out on the field calling timeout, blowing the whistle. At that point, that play was an inadvertent whistle. They should have ruled that the play never happened. What was confusing was that everybody thought that they called a false start and the play shouldn't have happened. That's not what the call was, because the ball was already snapped, as you saw, and the ball was in play when the down judge from the lower part of the screen threw his flag. So he had illegal procedure, which is understandable because we snapped the ball before everybody lined up. But everybody thought it was a false start. So there was miscommunication, there was bad mechanics. The problem is when the officials, I think, got together and said, what do you have? What do we have? And they said, well, we have illegal procedure. I don't know how the white hat ever let that go through, because they should have called to the line judge and said, what are you doing? Why are you on the field calling timeout, signaling, false start, all that sort of stuff? Had they realized that he had been out there, I don't know how in good conscience they couldn't have called this an inadvertent whistle. So you can be in on the conspiracy or not, but the reality is, even though they got the call right, technically they got essentially the enforcement wrong, and awarding the Chiefs the ball here should have never happened.
Right.
Anybody have any questions about all that? That's about as clear as I can make it. I don't know what else to tell you, except that, the refs screwed up. They didn't get it right. They didn't even, it seemed to me, to take time to figure out. So the conspiracy theorists who were like, well, once they realized the Chiefs had the ball, they figured out a way to give it to them. You can't argue that that's not what happened when the NFL's not coming out and telling us one way or the other which way this should have gone.
Exactly.
So,
and had the Raiders recovered, then there probably would have been a longer discussion.
Well, that's the whole point, Wayne. Is if the Raiders had recovered the ball, it would have been a moot point. But they probably could have used either call if they wanted to. But even if they'd have gone with the illegal procedure, okay, that's a penalty, but they would have backed them up 5 yards from the spot of the recovery, not from the original line of scrimmage, right? They would have marked it from the original recovery, which was behind the snap, backed them up another 5 yards, and essentially Carlson's kick would have been from 7 yards further than it would have been if they'd have just kicked it. So the Raiders got themselves in that position. It was an unfortunate situation that it was that it happened the way it did, but I think the refs got it wrong, and we'll never hear about why.
No, we won't. No, we won't.
Cap, any other questions about that?
No, I'm just going to say that we're all, and again, I'm going to try not to drop any more foxtrots.
I got a bag for him. Come on.
And Big Nasty just giggling his goody.
Come on.
Oh, because hey, that apology letter is coming in the mail, man.
It's in the
Believe
mail.
me, I got plenty of those bad boys.
Yeah.
It's in the mail. Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to say what needs to be said for everybody so that we can go over this. Yes, the game, that call did not cost the Raiders the game. Three missed field goals from a reliable kicker hurt. Another bad call on the fourth down play, which shouldn't have been a fourth down when we went for it deep in Chiefs territory.
Yeah.
That's another effed up call. See, I said effed up.
Yeah.
That should have been looked at. Okay.
Right.
Now, when they showed it on the screen, they poo-pooed it and said, "Oh yeah, the guy was down." No. The guy was not down.
No, not that.
They
They blew that one too. Yep.
They blew that one too, like a whore on a corner. There you go.
Oh, dollar night. Yeah.
I didn't say so. I didn't say so, Keith.
Welcome to the comedy show, Keith.
Hey, Captain Jack, you coming to town, aren't you?
I live here, brother.
No. Just do me a favor. Stay off of Bush Avenue with all that talk. You're making me nervous. I don't need to pick you up out of jail.
Thank you.
Oh.
I'm in Valrico, and you are cordially invited to the Raider party at my house, so you can see the studio. And I will let you have that information from 3 to 6. There's an ad. 3 to 6. Raider Nation's going to be here for the studio, and I would love to have you here. Okay.
And I would love to rub in our first Super Bowl win.
Exactly.
I would love it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Man.
Oh, man.
We'll poo-poo that for a second. But
So,
anyway,
hey, Captain.
sir,
Go
one
ahead.
thing, like I said, the Raiders lost the game on 3 missed field goals and another
Yep.
screwed up call. What
Yep.
the thing is that pisses me off was that we will never know had the officials gotten the last call correctly and had they given the Raiders the opportunity to kick that field goal. That's what is wrong as well. So I'm not saying that the Raiders didn't screw up. As everybody say, we're blaming. No. Carlson missed 3 field goals, which is not like him, and the officials screwed up another call, which could have led to other points. That's what I'm saying.
You know, and we've right.
Yeah, they
That's
did not allow the Raiders to kick that, to at least attempt to kick the field goal. So for the folks in red and white, because remember, they don't wear black and white when it's a Kansas City game. For the folks in red and white, this is for you. The double
Well,
Hey, that's one thing we all can agree on. I can't stand the Chiefs, boy.
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, you know, and we've called the refs out on games that are not Raider games as well. So it's not like it's just that we get more Raider games to talk to them about because they got more of those games. So it is what it is. All right. Well, let's try to close the books on that and move on. Chargers went into Atlanta, beat the Falcons. Wayne, we talked about this last week. You know, they're just handing the division. If the Falcons beat Tampa Bay twice, unfortunately, but the Falcons essentially want to just hand the division back to Tampa Bay because they just can't seem to win anything. We've talked. None of us have been on Kirk Cousins' bandwagon since he was in Washington or wherever else he was.
You like that? You like that?
I used to like that. I don't know if I still like that, but man, I'll tell you what, the Chargers are sneaking up on folks.
I don't know if they're sneaking. I give them this, that I see improvement with that squad week to week.
Yep.
And they have basically what we call a balanced attack. Now, Atlanta was in the spirit of giving. That's where I saw it. And Kurt he didn't have his best day by
You
far.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, by far. And
yeah.
that really, those
I don't know, it's a
miscues.
good day for Kirk Cousins. I mean, he sucks. So.
Well, I mean, you know, but those miscues really cost them the game there.
It did.
You know?
It did. Yeah, you
Well,
got
Cousins is just like any other quarterback, man. You get the rush to him and they get the happy feet, they're going to start throwing those picks, man.
Yes.
No matter who's back there, right?
He was
So-
dancing. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, not surprised the Falcons lost that. What I am surprised about is the Pittsburgh Steelers putting up 44 points against
Come
the
on.
Bengals. If you'd have told me last week that the Cincinnati Bengals were going to score 38 points and then say who's going to win the game, I'd have said easily the Bengals. No way the Steelers are going to come anywhere near 38 points. The Bengals can light up the scoreboard when they want to, but where did the Steelers come from all of a sudden? I know they had some defensive help in that game too, but 44 points on a Steelers team that we talked about. One of their issues was they're not scoring enough. Well, with the Ravens getting beat, Pittsburgh has a game and a half lead now in the division. I mean, not only do the Ravens need to start playing some football, but you got to start maybe thinking about the Steelers are serious now.
Oh yeah, and look, I'm going to say this: everybody put Russell on the shelf, so to speak, but the kid can still cook given time. He can still cook. And that receiver that they got from the Jets, they're on the same wavelength with something to prove.
Apparently.
That's a dangerous team right now.
It really is. And especially with that defense, they keep everybody healthy going into playoffs. They may end up being the number 3 seed. And I don't think anybody's going to want anything to do with Pittsburgh if we get that deep into the playoffs. Houston to win to Jacksonville, man, this was a hard one to watch. Not only did they take Trevor Lawrence out of the game, they put him on injury reserve. Houston got the win, and they'll probably move ahead with a division title here in a couple weeks. The Colts are still looking over a couple of teams' shoulders for the playoffs, but there were 2 games this week where 2 teams just beat the crap out of each other, and this was one of them.
Yeah, that definitely was a physical game. Unfortunately, that kid that put that elbow to the chin of Lawrence, that was a definite no-no. I knew that was an ejection right away. Don't know what prompted him to do that, but he's going to lose 3 checks because of it.
Yeah, I think he should be losing more than that.
He's the dude. Can't remember the guy's name who played for the Steelers and played for us for a year. That was put on taken out of the game. The linebacker that screwed things up. Played when the Bengals. Thank you, Perfect. I had to think that.
Oh my God.
Montez Perfect. People are saying that he's already had his marks now, and if he does it again, he's probably going to be given his walking papers forever, like they gave the Perfect when he played for us.
Well, I think he's reached that plateau already, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Wayne Angry Birds Southwest went to Minnesota and dropped it to the Vikings. This is the Vikings team that won the game that they needed to win, an interconference game at home. The NFC West is just a total crapshoot right now, minus the 49ers. It's a 2-team race. Seattle, Arizona. We're going to find out who wants it more pretty soon. But, the Vikings now still a game ahead of the Packers. Kind of hard to believe, actually, with the way that they're playing. But Minnesota looks pretty serious about a playoff spot at this point.
They're getting their playoff spot, but to me, they seemed uninspired playing the Cardinals.
Agree with you on that.
And we knew the Cardinals were going to bring that aerial attack plus that running game that they all of a sudden have with Connors, and they put it to Minnesota. Like I say, they got lucky with that victory.
Well, and like the Raiders, you got to make those field goals. Just ask the Ravens.
Yeah.
You can't leave 9 points on the field in the NFL and expect to win games, especially on the road. Of course, the Ravens lost theirs at home, but Cardinals needed all the help they could get, and they didn't get it when they needed it. The problem with the Arizona win was that Seattle beat the Jets.
Yeah.
So Arizona's now looking over their shoulder. The Colts put the Patriots on the clock. Of course, we had the Patriots on the clock a long time ago.
Yeah, and by the way,
we put it on there week 8, but
Kel's one of those British Vikings from my ex-roommate, Tommy.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so he knows about his Vikings. So blessings to Kel. Recently married. He's still in his honeymoon. He's only been married for about a month or so. Give it time, Kel.
Congratulations.
Right on.
Yeah.
But he's very happy with his Vikings. I know all Minnesota fans are happy. Like you said, Sam Darnold.
You can't argue with 10-2, right? Really, when you look at it, when was the last time the Detroit Lions were 11-1? It wasn't in our lifetime. So on any other year,
Whoa! I'm sorry. What's the Detroit Lions record?
11-1.
Oh, 11-1, huh?
Yeah.
How many gave them that loss, baby?
One time.
Yeah, baby. We don't play on revenge games, baby. We can't. We hope we get to go back to Detroit and play them again. We hope
they don't want anything to do with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's a matchup nightmare for them. It really is.
It is. But on any other given year, the Vikings would be leading the division. So
True.
In the one season Minnesota's having a great year, it's overlooked by a Detroit team. It's 11-1. Yeah, minus the 1. Yeah.
You'll see it, Keith.
Cap, do they still do they still sell corn down there in Tampa Bay for $1?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
man, you all got to come up with some better jokes, man.
Okay.
What in the world? Jeez, that's back in 1922. We weren't even established then. So come on, come up with some good jokes.
All right, I'll try to do better. Speaking of jokes,
you're just trying to. Hey, go back to the F-bombs with Cappy. I mean, that was even better than that.
It probably was. But speaking of jokes,
just wait.
Just wait.
Oh my
God! The lead over Seattle, couldn't hold on to it. The money's just falling out of their pockets at this point. The Jets have been grounded for a while. Seattle will go all the way to the East Coast to pick up a win, and the Cardinal loss. Nobody was happier for a 4-hour plane ride home in Seattle last week.
I bet they had the bottles popping on that one, man.
Yeah.
But listen. What I saw in that one was that they had such an attack on Rodgers that he wanted Happy Feet, but they just couldn't move, and they beat the hell out of him.
Yep.
So he's showing that age.
No offensive line. Jets have no offensive line, man.
They don't.
That's a problem, you know. I don't think it's Rodgers. I think if you don't have an offensive line, like we said earlier on, Happy Feet, you're done, man. I don't care who's back there. You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, they had him in a turnstile that whole game. And it just looked bad though from the optics.
I don't watch Jets games anymore because it's like when you take and Keith knows about love bugs. It's like when you catch a love bug and you hold them and you take their wings off. There's nothing to it, you know. Yeah. All you got is a bug that's rolling around that can't fly anymore. It's just too easy. It's too easy.
You need a new hobby, Cap.
I know. Love bugs and hoe comparisons. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it.
We're going to have such a good time at such a cheap price. I mean,
and I already dropped the What's Happening with Raj rerun and Dwayne too. So give me some credit there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you say so. All right, Tennessee went into Washington to play the Redskins, Commodores, and got beat. I don't even know what to say about that game. I mean, Tennessee showed up, played a little bit, but that wasn't a game they were going to win. Washington blew them out by 23 points. The other game where two teams beat the crap out of each other. I watched this one, man. Tampa Bay and Carolina took overtime for the Bucs to beat the Panthers. They gave them all they wanted to, but the Bucs survived. My issue is, the Bucs play tough. They're one of the toughest, grittiest teams I've seen in a long time. But, if they're going to go deep in the playoffs, man, they got to get some guys healthy.
It's not just the health situation. Yeah. It's not just the health situation. We are beat up, especially in the secondary. I mean, golly, we just pulled up another safety back, and there's a reason why we let him go in the first place. So we'll just leave it at that. So, yes, our two defensive ends haven't been getting great pass rush whatsoever, but we have been getting pass rush up the gut, which is unusual for us. But, Cansey and let's face it, the beast, the beast, Villa can get there. But I will – the most problem that we're having right now is like you saw an ugly game against Carolina. I mean, they missed, I think, 2 or 3 field goals.
Yeah.
So, and I'll be honest with you, but they always say good teams find a way to win. And I'm not saying it's always like that. I'm going to tell you right now, we got flat out lucky. If it wasn't for Nelson dropping that ball, we're not even having this conversation because I'm crying. Yeah. But he kept our season alive if it wasn't for that guy. So, Cappy, I could tell you, just like you were talking about that KC debacle, you know what I mean? It's almost like you can go back to any given play in a game and it can make a difference whether you win or lose. I mean, and these refs don't make it easier. Believe me, it's been a rough year with the Zebras with us. I'll tell you that right now. Those 2 games against Atlanta, the Zebras had everything to do with those games. I mean, you go back to a holding call on Tristan Wirth that gives them backs us up.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
That was messed up. That was
up. I mean, but the problem is you get backed up. That's where we struggle. So if we can play mistake-free football, we can beat anybody. But when we're behind the sticks, man, that's where we get hurt.
Yeah, well, the good thing is, you're 6-6 now with Atlanta. The bad news is you don't have the tiebreakers, but it doesn't matter if you keep winning. With the way the Falcons are not winning, that you could end up winning the division by a game or 2 outright. The question I have for you is, I know we talked about it overall, but I think one question I had was, how is Mayfield doing?
Oh, fantastic. Practice today. Okay. I was worried about that too. I think that was more of a scare because, this Achilles thing and these hamstrings have been happening across the league. I mean, it isn't just one team. I don't know what the heck they're putting in the water, but the hamstrings especially have been a nightmare for us this year. And we're talking serious grade hamstring pulls. So, I mean, Mike Evans is in jeopardy for not possibly not reaching 1,000 yards this year, which would put him he's already in the elite category for that with 10 straight seasons. But boy, it'd be nice to keep it going. And, he had a great game just last game against Carolina. It was like, where the hell did he get 100 yards? Exactly. I didn't even believe he got that. So, but all in all, I think the injuries have definitely hurt us, but we're getting healthier. The bye week extremely helped us.
Well, you get another one this week.
Well, I disagree. What? You got a guy, you got a beast on that defensive line, and I'm telling you right now, if he was ever open, I'd open the bank to that guy. Cosby. Is it Cosby? Is that the last name? Cosby, they call him? What's his name?
Crosby.
Yeah,
Crosby. Unbelievable motor, never stops. I watched the Kansas City game just to watch him. He was, oh my God, he's electrifying. So, as long as you got him, he's a game changer. The good thing is Wirth got some playing time last week and actually graded out real high because, he got hurt with an MCL strain. So as far as that going, I don't know what side he's playing. I mean, I know you guys move him around, but, Luka Gadecki is actually doing real good at the other tackles. So I'm solid with our tackles right now, but that guy's going to get his, and that's the thing that makes me nervous, So, I tell you right now, I like your quarterback. I was like, what's up with the, I don't like the carousel. It's like, just leave the kid in there, let him get his growing pains, and I like your attitude of your coach. I think your coach is pretty solid. The difference is, man, you just got to get an offensive-minded coach in there that can help that offense out. And, let's face it, you got a tight end, which we do terrible against tight ends. That's a given because we're soft in our linebacker core right now. So, but that I'm telling you, that rookie, boy, just like we got Bucky, you got that rookie tight end. Boy, did we strike gold, huh, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a generational player right there.
Yeah.
9 and 98, Keith. You got the right guys. Just remember 8 and 9 and 9 and 8 because those are the guys to watch. You already got it.
Oh yeah.
Him and Christian should be a good matchup too.
Yeah, they're entertaining. I mean, I that's why I just love the game of football, period. Whether any team, obviously, we bleed pewter and red till the day we're dead. But I'm going to tell you, it's really nice to see, that there's still that, like you said, generational talent that's still coming out there. But I just wish we had them on our team. That's all. Because boy, we wouldn't have to worry about a defensive end ever again.
That's probably true. You're lucky he's not in Detroit.
Talk about fantasy teams, and I don't know if any of us play it. I know I don't. But talk about your fantasy team. Oh man, if you could handpick everybody, Super Bowls lined up. You need more shells, man.
That's right.
But
yeah, exactly.
I'm leading my league right now. So I'm doing pretty damn good.
Okay.
And I don't put a lot of thinking to it. You know what I mean? I'll look at the weather.
Yeah.
But I screwed the pooch on a couple games too. That's all luck. All that stuff's luck.
Oh yeah.
To a large extent, that's true. Speaking of luck, a little bit of it ran out on the Saints. They got beat at home by the Rams. A little bit of a surprise there. I think last week we kind of expected the Saints to win at home. Rams got away with one. Still puts them, on the cusp of kind of looking through the playoff window. I mean, the playoffs right now, it's going to be tough to keep Washington, Minnesota, and Green Bay out, which means the NFC West probably only has one team in. That's a division winner. But whoever is not there, there's still a little football to be played left. I just think the Rams are going to end up a little bit short, but they got the win against New Orleans. Guys, the Ravens took one on the chin against the Eagles, the interconference win. Everybody hyped it all up to be a Super Bowl preview, blah, blah, blah. I think our Super Bowl preview is yet to be played when Buffalo takes on the Michigan Wildcats. But that said, the Eagles look pretty good. The Ravens left a whole bunch of points on the field with their field goal kicker, a la Raiders and a few other teams. But
who saw that coming?
But with the
I didn't.
Who saw Tucker missing field goals, Mr. Automatic? I'm like, dude, what is wrong? I still can't believe
9 points are on the field, or
9 points,
point or something.
Well,
the best kicker in the NFL, man. And it's like, what happened to you?
Don't tell the Steelers that.
I like Carlson better than him, but they're close. But they both missed 9 points. But I just said, I told you the Eagles were going to win that game.
Yeah, you did. You called it.
I'll tell you what, though, if the Ravens end up as a wild card, they're not going to the Super Bowl. They're not.
Chances are slimmer.
Yeah, a lot slimmer. Slimmer than Derrick Henry, that's for sure. Another team not going to the Super Bowl, San Francisco 49ers. They got snowballed by Buffalo. That was a fun one to watch. But you knew when Home Depot ran out of folding tables on Wednesday that the 49ers were coming.
Yeah, they were in trouble. Exactly. Yeah. and I bet you all of them got returned for damaged parts, man. That
Probably.
was like I say, optically, that was a great game to watch. But the physicality of these Bills and the Bill Mafia, that's no place nobody wants to go in December and January to play.
Well, and the Bills now have a fifth division title in a row, which says a lot, but doesn't say a lot when the last 20 years were dominated pretty much by New England. But it's still a division title. It means something. They get a home game for sure. They got to wonder now where the Chiefs are going to lose the one game that they need them to lose. But Denver got their win at home against Cleveland. That was a wild one. I don't know if you guys saw the game on Monday night, but regardless of whether or not you're a football fan, if you love entertainment, that was a dandy.
That was, I call it the Mile High Shootout.
Basically,
that's what that was, man. A lot of scoring,
throwing to everybody, including
everybody,
not even on their team.
Oh, yeah. I call it the same old Jameis.
Oh my God!
Don't get me wrong. He can throw a rope, but he can be a dope. So he has both moments, man.
Okay.
He can throw a rope and throw for many yards. I mean, I think he's he doesn't have the all-time record here now. But bottom line is he had a great season, but those picks will kill you, man. That ruins the game for you. I mean, you're done.
You kind of wondered if Cleveland's quarterback coach was Ryan Fitzpatrick, right?
I could see him coming out with the bling again. That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, just throwing the interception at the inopportune time, but
terrible.
Yeah, it's a close game, 8 points or 8 or 9 points. Cleveland wasn't going to get a whole lot out of that win anyway, but it was sure fun to watch. What it did do is keep Denver in the playoff hunt in the AFC for sure. That wraps up Week 13. Before we get into Week 14 preview, I would like to welcome Keith Big Nasty Kunzik to the show. Thanks for joining us. Elite Tampa Bay superfan. Keith, welcome to the show. Tell us all about what's going on with you and what's going on in Tampa Bay.
Ref. Wow. Let me add Hall of Fame superfan.
Yes,
How about this? You got two of them in this nice little font. Two-time Hall of Famers, me and Wayner, right, Bubba? Two-time Hall of Famers. So, and there ain't many of us out there, but as you see, Violator still goes and he still does his thing, but Big Nasty retired it last year. And I'll tell you, I still go to the games. I still root them on. I still love it. But, Wayne, I'm going to tell you, when you get to go to the game and they don't know it's you, it's heaven. Heaven. Yeah. You get to actually watch the game. It's actually, I'll tell you right now, I go to the game with flip-flops, a visor, and a cold beer in my hand, and you know dang well when you're in character, guys, that ain't happening. Right?
You're right.
It ain't happening. It's you figure 35 years of doing this, I had a hell of a ride. It doesn't get any more special than being represented at the Hall, and especially with my boy Wayne. I can tell you, Cappy, I remember meeting Cappy at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, so I can tell you, I'm honored to be on this show with, the class acts of the class. And that's what it's always about. Cause we don't have to sit here and tell you what it is to be well, I don't even call them super fan. I call it being the love of your team and just love them no matter what, whether they're losing, whether they're winning, you stay loyal. This youth today, it's kind of like, they just want to be TV glamour. And then when they stink, they jump off the bandwagon, and that's horrible. That doesn't teach anything about loyalty. But I will say that
taking the uniform, have part of the uniform off. That's
or better yet, how about this? Leaving early. What the hell is that?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm getting blown out 38-0. I wait until it's all triple zeros on there before I leave. I took my abuse. You brought up the 76 season. Why are you bringing up child abuse, bro? That's not nice. that was 0-26.
I was just saying, McKay was ahead of his time when they asked him about the execution of his offense. He said, "I'm all for it."
Man, that's
still the best coach. Had the best lines ever. But I'll tell you what now, man, he brought us to a 79 championship.
He did.
We didn't reach the Super Bowl, but that's meaningful to me.
That was like a 9-0 ball game. It was close.
Oh, would you say the refs had something to do with that? Yeah, I agree with that one too. Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, it was in LA, so.
Yeah. But I'll tell you right now, it was a great game. We were hoping to play Pittsburgh. That would have been, you got to remember, as me growing up as a child, Bucko Bruce didn't win many games, but during them years, Raider Nation and Steeler Country were clobbering it. My two best friends, Raider fans and Steeler fans, rubbing it into me. So I was praying for that 79 Super Bowl, boy. I wanted to lay Terry Bradshaw out with Leroy Selman, boy. Yeah. That would have been special, but
that would have been
it didn't happen. But we're blessed to have two, man. I mean, I'll tell you, the first one, I know it's sore things with the Raider Nation, but that Super Bowl was amazing for me. That was more like God sent to me. It was just something where everything aligned that night because every one of you know that Raider Nation was favored by forever. You're kidding me in San Diego, and to get that first Super Bowl win, there'll never be another Super Bowl like that. But you got to remember, I don't go to the games like this. Big Nasty's normally like the painted up guy with the rhino hat. It's definitely a vision. And when I went, well, you remember, I mean, come on, Wayne, when we were out there were no Buck fans painted up back then.
No.
None. It was me and my brother with only two. You kidding? Shoot, they'd be sitting there eating. Remember that nice little slogan with the Cracker Jacks with a Raider Ron in it? Remember that?
Oh, yeah. God rest him.
I still would. God rest his soul, man. I used to razz him about that all the time. But God, I miss Raider Ron, man. He was the best. He really was. I got to tell you a short story about him. We end up losing Sapp to you guys, and Sapp's my boy, right? That's my man. That we're tight to this day. Some people love him, some people hate him. I don't care. I love him. He's my brother, and I can tell you right now. Raider Ron ships me for Christmas. You know what he ships me?
What's that?
A Raider Sapp jersey. I could have killed him.
That's Ron. That's right.
Oh, it was great. I said, dude, I mean, I got it around here somewhere. I should have pulled it out of the dang garbage can. But bottom line is that was a sore subject for me. And I'll tell you, to this day, Sap still has great fond things to say about Raider Nation. He really does. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
That was, your win in Super Bowl 37 is how Raider fans felt with the other 3 that we won, because it was just, like you said, things line up for that particular day, probably more so aligned with Super Bowl 18 than the other 2, but Super Bowl 11 and 15 were pretty good from that perspective as well. But we hear you. And it's good that, and it's a remarkable story. I mean, Brady leaves New England after winning, 6 Super Bowls there, goes down to Tampa Bay, wins another one. And that was against the Chiefs, no less. And so that was.
Oh, yeah. And you got to remember earlier in the season, Chiefs came down and handed it to us.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, this is not going to be good. But, that COVID year really screwed the pooch for the fans. I mean,
everybody.
Limited attendance. But,
yeah,
I was blessed to have one of my bucket lists to be there with my daughter. And I remember telling her, and I didn't share this, but, Wayne, when we got into the hall from the Ford Hall of Fans, me and Destiny we got there was nobody in the hall, so they're walking me and my family, and Destiny comes across this sign in the Hall of Fame. This is no joke, guys. You talk about, and her name's Destiny, so it'll really come together. So on the sign it says no team has ever won a Super Bowl at their home field. My daughter points to this. This is before the season even starts, guys, and says, "Dad, we're going to be the first team to do this." And we take a picture of it, and she posted on Facebook. And then you fast forward. Oh my goodness, man! It was crazy. I mean,
you can't make that stuff up. Bro.
You cannot. And you know what? That sign is no longer in there. They took that bad boy down. But
because it's happened twice now.
Yeah. Don't get me going about conspiracies, man. Just because you open up a new stadium and then you got to do it second time in a row. Get out of here. That's garbage. Them Rams didn't deserve that Super Bowl.
No one was worried about the Cardinals when they moved to Arizona winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, do me a favor. Make sure you take it easy on my guys. Tell them to tell the tight end and the defensive end just to miss the bus. Don't even get on the plane. I need a break for this game.
You send that same memo out too. We'll send the memo out together. That should be a good game.
A fun one to watch.
Where are they staying? I'll be getting a convoy around the hotel, honking the horn all night.
Oh man.
I can see it now. Big Nasty goes to jail for noise violation. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Probably at the Marriott. Richard J, welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? Yes, sir.
Richard J, he threw for over 700 yards at 121. Okay. All right. Well, let's get ready for Week 14. Tomorrow night, the Packers are going to go into Michigan and take on the Wildcats. I'm pretty sure Frenchie's going to have something to say about that.
Yeah, Frenchie. I got your Frenchie right here.
No, I understand. But I'll tell you what, the Lions are in for a ball game. They have the Bears are going to face a Packer team that's exponentially better. They're going to have to stop Jacobs on the ground.
He cannot say that
Leon. Yes.
It's been 2 years.
Yes.
2 years. And the imbecile, that because he's a guy, I won't say the GT, but he's a damn referee with no brain. De toi, Leon, campion.
I got the Leons in this one over the Packers.
Well, in my house, I got to take the Packers. I don't think they're going to win. Detroit's clearly the football pick. I just think Detroit's going to get a game. But in the end, the Lions are on a roll, and I don't think anybody in the NFC is going to stop the Michigan Wildcats at this point.
We have croissant. We have bread. We have all of those. We have all of that stuff down in New Orleans as well. That's French stuff. I can't. The beignet. It's all of French sheep. So
those are good.
So
there you go. It's French is wonderful.
I got news for you. When Canada becomes the 51st state, you're going to have to learn English. The New York Jets are going to go. The New York Jets are going to go into Miami to take on the Dolphins. Pretty sure this is a game Miami's finally going to get a win on the. It's like he said earlier, the Jets just aren't going to get it done. Miami's really struggling now to try to get a playoff spot, but they have to win this one, and I think it's pretty foregone conclusion that they'll go to 6-7. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I got the Dolphins. They finally thawed out from that Green Bay trip. And like I say, the Jets are running on fumes right now, so they'll stay on the tarmac. I got Miami in this one.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins at home.
I know they're mammals, but they're fish. They'll always be the fish.
Yeah. The Dirty Birds are going to go into Minnesota and take on Purple People Peeps. I tell you what, if the Atlanta plays like they did last week, the Vikings are going to go to 10-11 or 11-2.
Well, I guarantee you, Kurt won't wear his gold chains to Minnesota. I got Skol in this one.
Well, I think if you're a Tampa Bay fan, you're definitely rooting for the Vikings this week.
There's no doubt, man. I'll tell you what.
Okay, well, there you
that
go.
That place is a tough place to play right there
is.
now.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah.
But eat your Wheaties, man. You know, got to hit them weights. Remember what Baker did to him. I'll just put a plain word.
The only thing I would say, well, never mind. Kirk Cousins could throw across the street.
You like that?
I do like that. The other thing Saints going to go into New York to take on the Giants. The Giants pretty much given up at this point. I like the Saints on the road, even though the Saints are on the road.
Yeah,
normally I don't like the Saints on the road.
Right.
But
hey, you got Danny DeVito at quarterback. Oh, sorry.
Right. Was he in a movie?
It's Tommy DeVito, but it's a DeVito.
It's a DeVito, yeah. I think about Jimmy Johns every time I hear that name, but I've got the Saints in this one because, like I say, the Giants are already packing for vacation.
Yeah.
They're already on their golf carts.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the Eagles better be ready to play. The Panthers got their claws out. I still like the Eagles at home, but, man, I'll tell you what, the Panthers might smack them around a little bit for 15, 20 minutes.
Unfortunately, in this one, guys, the Panthers are going to be put in a cage. Philly, they don't want no part of Philly this week. And the weather, who knows what kind of weather is blowing through there.
Yeah, that's true. Panthers probably could play in a little bit of rain or whatever. But you know what? We've said this before. When A.J. Brown came back, the Eagles' offense really started to take off, and they have no answer, as does anybody, for A.J. Brown. Just ask the Ravens. Cleveland going to go into Pittsburgh in a little bit of a rematch from a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. This time it's in Pittsburgh, and I think Cleveland's probably going to get their ass kicked this time.
I got this Pittsburgh and an easy one here.
I don't think anybody wants anything to do with Pittsburgh this week. Browns coming off that Monday night game loss. I think it just kind of took a lot out of them. I just don't think they're going to have any wind in their sails this week. Despite all the air blowing off Lake Erie. And
surprisingly, Chubb didn't really get going like I thought
I didn't understand exactly. And I didn't understand that. When they were still in the ball game, they didn't run the ball.
They didn't run the ball.
And I don't understand that. He did get the touchdown, right? But on the pass, on the short screen pass play. But as far as the running game, I think if they'd have handed him the ball, 12, 13 times, whatever, maybe that might have made a difference. One thing it would have done is run the clock, and that may have helped them because they were down 21 something and then scored before the half, and then all of a sudden it was on. So they ran out of time in the first half to try to tie it up, but in the second half, Denver slowed down a little bit, and I think if the Browns had not thrown interceptions and done stupid stuff, maybe it would have been different.
But that goes back to coaching.
Agreed. Just ask the Bears. All right, the Raiders are going to go into Tampa Bay, and we got the Pirate games this week. Whose ship's going to get blown up and sunk for a coin or four?
That's a tough one. These guys got the cannons.
Somebody's going to have their loot stolen. Who is it?
Don't be talking about my booty.
What? No.
I wasn't going to go there, but I'm glad you picked up on that. But
yeah. I'm going to say
I like my booty personally. I just want to tell you I like my booty. I'm going to go with my booty. My booty by 10 points. That's where I'm going with. My booty and 10 points. That's where we're going.
Well, I'm gonna go booty since we talking
Well, you
booties.
got
I'm
more
going
points than Jack.
my booty by 3.
Ooh,
What's
could be. Could
That
be.
close. That close.
you know?
Don't you ruin my season, Wayne. Don't you
Hey,
ruin my season.
I'm just saying my booty by 3. That's it. That's it.
You know, let's take a look at a couple stats, shall we?
Okay. What you got?
Raiders. A minus 110. So, Keith, one of the things we do on this show is we put people on the clock, and we're not afraid to do that. Basically, if we put your team on the clock, you're done. You know, when you look back at our, you won't, and that's okay. But if you look back at our previous shows, we put teams on the clock that are pretty bold, and they don't make it. And one of the stats we use for that is points scored versus points given up, right? Yeah. So Raiders are a minus 110. So they've given up 110 points more than they've scored. They've lost their 10 games by a total of 117 points, and they are currently 27th in scoring. They're going to play a Tampa Bay team that's number 6 in scoring. Tampa Bay is putting up a lot of points, and Tampa Bay is a plus 39. They've lost their 6 games by a total of 49 points. I understand all the talk about Raiders this, Raiders that, and Wayne, we talked about, and Jack, we talked about this last week. Raiders looking pretty good between the 20s, but they can't put it in the end zone. I think that's going to be a problem for them again this week. I think the Bucs just need to hold the line in the red zone. I think they're going to be all right.
That's why I predicted by 3, because it's going to be between the 20s, not the red zone.
Yeah. I go ahead, Cappy. I want to hear what you got to say because I know you're coming to our house.
Yeah. Well, and again, you can come to my house Saturday, 3 to 6.
It's an away game. You got to go to his house.
No, you're coming to my house this week. I know you're coming because you got somebody sitting next to you or something, don't you? I don't know what you're doing, but you are coming to Tampa.
I try. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I got the Lady Pirate, and then I got, as a special added guest, I got Joker Raider sitting next to me.
So you got more booty than you're letting on, Cap.
There you go.
The triple booty effect.
I knew there was a catch somewhere.
Yeah, I tried to get the raffle going, but nobody would fill it in. So I pushed all the money back to the people that tried to raffle it. And I invited my good friend Joker Raider to sit next to me. So he's coming in from Arizona, another great guy. I said, you know what? You're going to come to the game. And again, even though it's in your house, it's still my house. I get
Tampa
one home game every 8 years.
Wait a minute. Did you say it was your house?
No,
it's my house. It's my house. Even without makeup, it's still my house.
One home game every 8 years. But I will say this. The last time we were in Tampa, and there was a field goal kicker for the Raiders by the name of Janikowski, and people were wearing red, were walking out of the stadium in the fourth quarter. And
Not me.
Okay, other people wearing red were walking out of the stadium, and I said, "Don't walk out." I said, "Jano has a very bad habit of missing field goals when it counts." So not only did he miss one, he missed 2 field goals in the fourth quarter. It went to overtime. And there was a certain play, and I can't remember his name, but he was number 10.
Spider 2 Banana?
I don't know what play it was. I'm just saying play your
Spider
number
2 Banana.
It was number 10, dude. Get with the you're a friggin' ref. Shut up. Okay?
Nothing but love here, baby.
Learn your
I don't know if it's NFL Nation Live or The View.
Whoa, wait a minute now.
Oh, my.
In overtime, Carr throws it to number 10. I can't remember. Seth Roberts. Thank you, Daniel. See, that's why we have people that pop in, because I know it, but I don't know all the names.
Yeah.
Seth Roberts takes it and just turns around, and the guy didn't tackle him. And about 39, 40 yards later, he's in the end zone in the area of that pirate ship. And I couldn't get over to the pirate ship fast enough because they wanted me to come on the pirate ship and take it over. But I couldn't get there because I was on the other end zone and I had to fight through everybody. But I'm saying when I've been in Tampa for these games, the Raiders have won both times.
Mm-hmm. Just to let you know,
they got
I got engaged at a Bucks Raider game.
Wow.
We went into overtime and won it.
Yeah,
Was
but
that
So I have some. There's always been fond memories with the Raiders and us. So
I bet you that was the one that Cole
always will be too, man. Always.
Oh yeah, always will be.
49-17.
Special fans, special teams. Period.
Speaking of special teams, there's another team on the field that'll help Tampa Bay on Sunday. That's the officiating crew.
Are they?
Hey, why don't we just do this? Just eliminate the refs because I don't believe in that statement whatsoever, and I could see them definitely doing something stupid. And don't get me wrong, back in the day, they used to have the Jumbotron booth thing they look into right in front of my seats. Dude, you'd see pictures in past 35. I tried giving them money. I tried everything. These suckers don't even do it. And I tell you what's crazy is you'll see it. Like we got robbed on the Falcon game at our house because we didn't have a pylon camera. Are you freaking kidding me? A pylon camera. I guarantee you the Glazers won't make that mistake again. So they didn't have that in there. That cost us the Atlanta game here in Tampa. And it cost us the Atlanta game up there was penalties with zebras. So, I hope you're right. I hope they give us calls, but I'll believe it when I see it. I really will.
Okay. Crew, Keith, because and he was going to mention it. Go ahead and elaborate on that, please. Big almighty Alan Eck and the crew. I just said I team you up, man. Come on.
Well, it's just interesting that we had that crew in Week 6 against Pittsburgh, and I just think it's interesting to get that crew again because the experience of that crew is 83 years combined, so they're number 5 crew in terms of experience. And I just think that plays into the hands of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because you got Derek Anderson, line judge. The guys that bother me on the backside are the field judge, side judge, and back judge, Jenkins, Shaw, and Meyer. Not fans of the Pirates, the Black Pirates.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem, guys. They're not a fan of Pirates. Because that's where we're getting screwed to pooch. Like I said, I hope you're right. I hope we do get a call. We get a call.
I'm sure you will.
I'll be going like Sanford and Son. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming.
Get the big one, baby. Get the big one. I'm coming to see you.
I was doing that Friday right there. Yep, I was doing that Friday. Yes, sir.
I'll be doing the Jefferson dance. You kidding? Come on.
Moving on. Moving on up. I love it, man.
Oh, now you're getting Prince of Bel-Air. Go, Kathy.
Jeez.
You can tell we're showing our age. We're talking about old sitcoms. For God's sake.
Yeah. The youngsters like, what?
Yeah. The younger audience is going, huh?
Yeah.
We got to Google that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You're right. Google. Yes, indeed.
There's really a show called that, huh? Okay.
All right.
So, are you guys officially eliminated or no?
Yeah, we
were. Oh, yeah. We've been a long time ago.
We put the Raiders on the clock like in week 2.
We were but we were officially eliminated last week with the Texans.
Yeah. Been on our clock for long.
Along with
I would get excited about that, but knowing knowing your team and knowing that coach, they're going to still play to the end.
Oh yeah.
I really do. I believe that's a tough football team. They're nasty, and no pun intended.
They're going to give you a ball game, but it won't.
Yeah, they're going to give us a ball game. If you go in thinking it's going to be easy, we're going to get beat. Period. So
that's the bad thing is that we're going to win. We're going to win by 3, just like Wayne said, and we're going to screw our draft pick.
Don't tell me you're one of those.
Don't go there.
Please don't tell me you're one of those, Cappy. You got to lose to get a draft pick? Are you kidding me?
No. I'm just saying. And I said this. The only game that I want to win this year is this game because I gotta deal with pewter pirate, fake pirates for a whole 4 years every time we do this.
Is that
I got to
bakery
deal with it. So, and I live here.
Well, I
here.
noticed, but I noticed the beard, and I know it has some kind of Santa characteristics. But Santa ain't coming, baby. Santa ain't coming to town.
You know, I got called Santa 3 times this week. Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got called.
Ladies, could we?
But I said, no. I'm Captain Jack. There is Raider Santa. That's another guy.
Yeah, that's different. Totally
Thank
different
God.
guy.
Oh, here we
I was
go.
worried there for a minute.
Is there a Raider Grinch too?
Yeah, Raider Grinch is Ken Thompson. Well, actually, Ken Thompson is the Grinch, and then there's another guy who's dressed as the Grinch I see at the games. I don't know who he is.
Is he green?
Yes, he wears a Grinch outfit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay.
Knockoffs, I call them. Knockoffs.
Yeah. I was thinking,
They're not the OGs, are they?
They're not the OGs. No,
they ain't the OGs, boy.
They're what they are. The Trevorless Lawrence Jaguars are going into Tennessee to take on the Titans, a division game. It doesn't even matter. This is one of the weekends where you hate having Sunday ticket because you got to pay for crap games like that.
hey, what are you talking about? A crap game? This is a great
whiskey.
night.
Oh,
What's up,
Whiskey
whiskey?
Jack, I forgot you were out there, damn it.
Don't
I was hoping to get by that. You know, slide it under there.
embarrass me in front of my friends. How you doing?
Both of your friends, you know.
Chappie looks like the water boy guy.
Come on. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my. Man, my cheeks are hurting.
Oh.
We used to be a. Never mind.
Yeah. Totally off rail.
Okay, go ahead, Whiskey Jack.
Embarrass me in front of my friends. I've known Keith for a spell. We've had some time together. It was Keith and I, and it was the gentleman that was a fan of those tiger cats that are like orange and black. Great guy. Sean, I think was his name.
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah.
To the baby.
When you're with family and friends like that, you're going in. You're a damn referee. Shut the. You know what? Up. I ain't gonna say we dropped it once, okay? But it's Tennessee. Who we playing? It's Jack. They don't have a quarterback.
Whistles are not the only thing we blow early.
They don't have a quarter. We got a quarterback by the name of I don't even know what his name is, but he's a damn good quarterback. Okay, and he was supposed to be a first round pick, but he was in the shine a little bit early, so he went in the second round. So that's why I said that's the guy for us. But they don't have a quarterback, and God help them. God help them, because we've been playing a lot better. We're playing at home, and I'm just going to say we win. We win.
Yeah.
How
2
many
wins.
That?
You and
Three.
and
We
Dixie.
won the game against the damn Jacksonville Tiger Cat thing.
All right.
I got Whiskey and his family winning at home.
Yeah. I think Jacksonville's going to show up, but I just think Tennessee's probably going to get the win on that. 2 big division games this week. Seattle, 3 if you count Detroit. Seattle going to go into Arizona. This one could determine who wins the NFC West. So you've got Seattle going into Angry Birds Southwest, take on the Cardinals. Tough one to pick on paper, but man, I'll tell you what, every time Seattle – you think they're going to show up, they don't. Every time you think the Cardinals are going to show up, they don't. Sometimes when you think they aren't going to show up, they do. Sometimes when Seattle thinks you're not going to show up, they do. So who's going to show up? This is a bunch of birds in this game, man.
Yeah, it's 2 birds, the buzzards, the sea buzzards, and the red birds Southwest.
Yeah.
My Hall of Fame Christie, I'm going with your birds to upset the sea buzzards at home in the desert.
Yeah, Seattle's their second road game in 2 weeks, right? They went to New York to play the Jets, so now they got to go down and play a division game. From a matchup standpoint, I like the Cardinals, but
I got a lot of saying that this guy goes there, they go to that. I had no. That is a typical referee conversation. Like the 3 or 4 minutes you had on the field in Kansas City, you bastard. You talk about a bunch of stuff and it don't make sense.
then I did my job. I got more word salads than Kamala Harris, man.
Yeah. Nobody has more word salad than that young lady. Y'all was nice.
Cap, who you taking? You taking Seattle or you taking the Angry Birds Southwest?
I'll take the Redbirds.
Okay. All right, taking the Cardinals. Wayne, you taking the Cardinals or you taking?
Yes, sir. Yes, I got the Cardinals. Definitely.
All right. Buffalo going to go into LA, take on the Rams. This is an interconference game on the road. Buffalo would like to win. If they don't, they got to hope the Chiefs drop someone somewhere else. But so the Buffalo, they've got the division now. They need to keep the pedal on the metal from a home field advantage standpoint. But this is a game you don't want to go into LA and get a bunch of people banged up.
I think they're going to come in and do the bang. I got Buffalo, like I say, they're on a roll. They know what's at stake. They're not going to play around. Matt Stafford, look out.
Yeah, I like Buffalo on the road this week as well.
And Doug Flutie won't forget what the hell he's talking about in front of the crowd because he ain't going to be there.
Thank God.
Buffalo looks for real this year, guys. They really do.
They look like they've learned from their mistakes in the past.
Yes.
They're like, oh, if we just show up, we're going to win. And they've decided maybe this time that they actually maybe need to spend an extra hour in a film room because they definitely showed up against, in games when they needed to, especially like Kansas City. They knew what was on the line when they played the Chiefs in Buffalo. And they're hoping maybe that the Charge is going to go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs. And there might be a very good possibility with the way the Chiefs are playing. Up until recently, Chiefs really weren't putting up a lot of points. I think the Chiefs probably at the end have just a little bit too much for the Chargers. But you know what? This is a LA team that could make the playoffs, and we could see these two teams again. If we see them again, it might be different. But this regular season game, I think, probably goes to Kansas City.
I got KC at home for obvious reasons.
Mr. No Chippy's crews in there this week though, so they're not going to take any bullshit from those two teams. I can assure you that.
You might want to tell Keith who No Chippy is.
Bill Vinovich.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Bill. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's the guy that whenever there is a game that would devolve into like some real, like giving somebody the business. Another great guy, by the way. He's the guy that comes in, and so he's kind of like the Gestapo of the. Yeah. And I'm allowed to say Gestapo. I'm Levy. Okay, come on.
Understood.
Don't put on me on that. Okay. But yeah, he's the guy that does security for games like that. So
yeah, he's Mr. No Chippy. They put him on games where he thinks it could get a little weird. And besides that, he's a good friend of mine. Chicago going to go into San Francisco, play the 49ers. I don't think anybody cares.
Who cares?
Not really.
The Bengals going to go into Dallas and take on Jerry Jones and whatever they are called. I think
Cowboys. That shit right, boy. So going into how you doing there, Keith? We're talking about my Cowboys now. I'm James Earl. I'm James Earl Jones, the white James Earl Jones. That's Jerry's my cousin.
So you are my father. I knew it.
Yeah. It's just my child, James Earl Jones, but the white one, right? Mm-hmm. And he's a good old boy. And by the way, God bless James Earl Jones.
Just like Arby's, he's got the beef. I can tell you that.
Hey, Wayne. I never knew we had Captain Jack had a multi-personality disorder.
Yes,
holy crap!
He's been keeping that on the wraps, but it's out now. It's out now.
Been out for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
Nobody's got a better beard than Jimmy Earl. Okay, Jimmy Earl.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Earl. Yeah.
How you differentiate when you got James Earl Jones? Jimmy Earl, because I'm the white guy. Anyway, the Cowboys.
What's in your wallet?
My Cowboys
are going.
I tell you, Yeah, we don't know whether we're going to suck or we're going to play well. I don't know each game. That's why I talked to my boy in Tennessee, the other dude who's got the shine. I said, just send
Whiskey, yeah.
Whiskey Jack, yeah. I said, just send the shine because we'll have a good time over in the stadium. And that's why they have the hole in the top of Jerry's world so that God can piss on the game. It's not that he can see it. He can piss on the game when it's
that's just the back end of a raccoon that's got his head in the ground. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah.
Southern than I even wanted to pretend to figure that shit out. But there you go.
Well, if the Bengals want to beat you, they can do it because they can put up a lot of points. So you're going to have your offense ready to go. But that could be a fun one to watch, kind of cap off an interesting week 14.
The defense is playing a lot better. Okay.
Than what?
Than we have been.
Okay. It's not like the bar's really high there, you know.
Because I can drop schmuck in a Southern accent. And you're saying, where the hell is this guy from?
That's true, but that wouldn't be the first time. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
The Ravens, Colts, Broncos, Patriots, Texans, and Redskins. Commodores, Redskins have a bye. So
yeah, I got them Bengal cats over there with Jimmy Earl beating Jimmy Earl.
Yeah, I mean, if the Bengals want to show up and play that one, they can definitely win it. They put up 38 points against the Steelers.
Yeah, but they're pissed off for letting that one get away from them.
Well, they should be. I mean, they're playing for nothing, but so is Dallas, so it could be a fun one to watch. But three big, there's some other big – when there's a small game in the NFL, somebody will let me know. But three big division games this week, plus one we're interested in Tampa Bay.
Why are you glossing over that I have a bye? You already
Coach B, you never give us a break, man.
You woke him up. Oh my God.
Hey, how you doing, Keith? This is Coach Belichick, the greatest coach of all time.
He just fell out of shape. Oh my God. You have to wake him up.
By Coach B more than we would like, but we were out of respect. We give him a little chance to mumble his way through for a couple minutes. Go ahead.
He just glossed over the fact that I had a bye, didn't even wake me. I had to wake myself up to get on this show because this gentleman, typical freaking referee, okay, and I bought and paid for all you guys' vacation for all the years that we had all those Super Bowls. You owe me $1 mega million for all the time.
I paid you with the tuck rule.
There you go.
We paid Coleman for that, you schmuck. You better not.
Hey, how's that teenager girlfriend doing for you?
Yeah, tell us all about
I want to hear about the teenager girlfriend.
Maybe in our NFL Nation After Dark show.
After Dark show, yeah.
There you go. That's all I got. That's all.
You'll tear your ACL, man.
I'll tear something on me. I'll probably tear something on her. I'm just.
You're gonna go on injured reserve if you're not careful, man.
Yeah, well. I'll again.
All right.
Oh my.
Well, I don't remember the last time I had an hour and 20 minutes of such entertainment, but this is pretty awesome. In any case, all right, let's go around the table real quick. Things we're looking for week 14. I want to see Packers give the Lions a game. I'm sorry, Michigan Wildcats a game. Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward. Based on what I've heard this week, I really wasn't going to pay that much attention to Raiders Bucks, but all things considered, now I'm thinking maybe it could be an interesting one. So
I think that one is. It's gonna, like I say, it's the history of the two teams.
And there's still a little bit of football to be played for the Bucks and Falcons. So if the Bucks did somehow get beat, it may not hurt because we're probably expecting Minnesota to take care of things against the Falcons, even though Kirk Cousins probably wants to go there and wave to the crowd and tell them, I did like, what do I like? I guess I did like that.
Talking about me.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, you never.
Hey, let's get this straight. We need this game.
I agree with you on that front.
We don't get this game. I mean, yeah, it's like because then you got the Chargers, you got the Cowboys both away, and then you come home against Panthers again, which they're nasty against us, and you got the Saints, and the dirty ass Saints. They can be dirty. Again. That's a dirty football team.
Yeah,
boy.
Your last 2 games are division games. They're at home, but they're still division games, and that rematch with Carolina is still going to be something. It's probably still some video they're going to watch for that one.
Oh yeah.
But that's really interesting, because since you're by, you've had 4 of the last 5 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
You're at New York, at Carolina. You're home against Vegas, and you go to LA and Dallas. So that's tough when you're to schedule when you're beat up, and then you got to end with 2 division games.
But we got the experience, ref. I mean, look what we did last year. We rolled everybody at the end last year. So I really love our chances. And I'll tell you right now, the secret ingredient is Baker Mayfield. That guy's got more grit, more determination, and believe it or not, he plays better when the game's on the line. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a good snake. Yeah. So it's kind of like that scenario. I expect a hard fought battle to the end of the game. And I say 10 points. I'm hoping it's 10 points, but I'll be happy with 1. You kidding? So I just the main thing is to get by this one healthy. God forbid any more injuries, and get ready for the Chargers, because that's going to be tough. But the good thing is they're down Dobbins, so that's a big difference on that team. They don't have that running back. That's a big turnstile downward for them. But
would you have felt better about the schedule if the Charger, because you got the Raiders this week? Would you have felt better about the schedule if the Chargers game was in Tampa but the Saints game was in New Orleans? Or would you rather have?
We match up really well going to the Saints if that was the case, right?
Yeah.
And plus they're playing for garbage time anyway, So there's a lot of guys that the ones that are playing for their next paycheck, they're the ones that are going to be balling. Well, the ones that got the guarantee money ain't gonna.
Yeah. Well, hopefully by the time you get there, the division will be decided and you won't have to worry too much about that. But
I'm hoping that Saints game is on Sunday, because they haven't announced whether it's Saturday, Sunday, because my daughter's getting married on that Saturday. So it's a flex game. So bottom line, I'd hate to miss the game, but I got to miss the game, fellas, if that's the case. You know what I mean? You only give your only daughter away once.
Yeah. So, be like that guy in the commercial with looking at he's at the wedding, but he's watching the game.
Wayne, the game's going to be on. I'm going to have a jumbo TV on.
Exactly. Hey, put it on mute, but you're still watching it. I get you, man.
Correct.
That's it.
Grabbing that line and that damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just pictured you and Waterboy on that lawnmower driving off with his newlywed. I love it.
Don't encourage it, man. Don't encourage it.
Oh my goodness.
What's up, Bruce Jay? What's up, Jay? Good to see you.
Oh man.
Oh my.
Richard Chase says about to go live and talk about all the games last week with all of you the best. Got about 10 inches of snow last night. All right.
Whoa, damn.
Okay.
He lives in Canada, so that's nothing. He walks around.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He walks
in
around
the snow.
Yes. 10 inches in Canada of anything is a big deal, I guess. So,
considering I didn't even know that he knows how to call it an inch because he lives in Canada. They do things like centimeters.
Centimeters. That's right. Centimeters.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he meant 10 centimeters.
And that's what she said.
Probably. All right. Let's get out of here before we lose total control of everything.
I know.
Everyone, thanks for joining us this week for NFL Nation Live. We'll be back next week, of course, for week 15, all the way through to the Super Bowl. Thank you. Special thank you to Keith for being on the show this week. Great to have you. Appreciate all of your insight, particularly all of your history and how important that is to not only your team, your franchise, and how important it is to you, but how important it is for the younger fans to understand why that's important. So thank you for that. You're welcome on the show anytime. Let us know if you want to come back and talk anything football, Bucks related,
victory dance,
whatever.
Victory dance. That would be nice.
There you go. All right, everybody.
Hey guys, I want to say thank you for having me on. It's been a blessing,
Appreciate
and definitely a first class show with some first class fans. And let's have the best team win on Sunday. How's that
Sounds
sound?
good.
You got it, brother.
Sounds
Hey,
good.
much love,
All right,
baby.
everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
and if you want to hang out, we'd chat for a minute in the green room, but you can go anytime you want to. We're going to roll our credits, and then we usually come back to make sure everybody survived the show.
You ain't rolling the credits yet.
There you go. All right.
Take care, guys.